A recent announcement that the civil service is raising its salary for 23,000 of the civil servants. What do you think? Do you think it's the right timing? Do you think it's the wrong timing? Because the economy has just opened up only.
I think it's good for the civil servants, but it's all timing. I mean, yes, we should be rewarding, and I know in terms of SIA, there have been a pay freeze because they were losing money. But now when the economy is opening up, more flights are happening, the pilots, the air crew, they are asking for pay raises. So I think that begs the question: do we, from a capitalist point of view, how do we justify a pay raise given that there is no income, no profits? Or is this pay raise in anticipation of future income? So I think that's a question that it's on a lot of people's minds, a lot of individuals' mind, that hey, where's the money going to come from? We are just opening up, businesses are just picking up. Where do we get the money? Or is this now a talent grab? In the companies, or this government with the biggest pockets grabbing the best talent, taking the opportunity. So there's a lot of factors or possibilities of why they are announced at this juncture. That's how I feel.
Grabbing the best talent, not locally, I presume.
I think
International
locally
talents
Locally as well.
Yeah,
are
locally as
also
well.
expensive. But if you look at government tenders, right, you should give the best service with the lowest quote. Shouldn't that be done for talents also? If you want to work in Singapore, we'll give you the best resume, but you need to compromise with your salary. When economy is good, then everybody gets the dividend, everybody gets paid, everybody gets the benefits. When the economy is bad, then some of us suffers from pay cuts. Then when the economy is about to recover, we have not found our footing yet, right? Where will the money come from? I thought we use our reserves already, or it's depleting, or it's not getting any better. We need to work hard to make sure that our reserves go up. So where will this money come from?
My concern is in addition to having to replace the reserves, having anticipated higher healthcare costs. That's why that was the justification for the GST increases, and the situation in the world economy. There's just so many question marks. So is there a potential that we will come out with flying colors, earn lots of money to pay? Or I think it could be just a talent grab, where the government is trying to grab the best talent as possible to see through this turbulent few years that we are coming to. But where's the money going to come from? That's the question I have.
And the other question is, who are these 23,000 civil servants who's getting between 5 and 14% pay rise?
Who will get the
they?
14%? I would like to at least know how much they're earning per month first, and whether do they get enough performance bonuses for the past year, and their all other bonuses combined, and see why do they need that 14% increase.
I think increase will also have to be justified. Do you do something well? Are you an outstanding individual? Or is this just a handout? The other aspect is what's going to happen with the money? Is it just to incentivize you? You have bigger portfolio, you're doing more? Or is this a pure increase?
I wouldn't mind if it's the healthcare institutions, because those folks have been working like dogs. They've been, it's like there's no end in sight, especially during the COVID period. Yeah, I think if it's them, then it's justified. But will it only be them?
So very much is, from what I understand, for any salary, any increment, any promotion, it has to be justified. The person has to earn it. So how is this matrix going to be done? Nothing was announced.
I just want to know who they are, because there's a lot of people at 23,000 in the numbers are very high. So at least if they perform well, then I could learn a thing or two on how to be better, on how to upgrade myself and at least be considered for the next wave of payouts. Like what do they do? I mean, let's share. I mean, it's all about sharing, right? Share what do they do so we all can learn from 23,000 people. There's a lot of stories to tell.
And also, because this is the civil service, will the private sector follow suit? Because usually when civil service cut pay because of the downturn in economy, because of depression, they cut pay. And then immediately the private sector follows suit, like, oh, civil service leads the way. But now, with civil service paying between 5 and 14% increase, is that sector going to follow as well?
We can, or at least some private sectors can follow, but you need to detail it. Which sector would be able to follow through, right? I mean, if you say that we need to reward the frontline workers, I'm fine. The medical services or the medical industry, I'm fine. But our economy is not driven by those industries only, right? There are all other industries that is not doing so well during COVID. But if this 23,000 is across every board, then we would like to know, I mean, what did they do so well? I really, truly, honestly, sincerely would want to learn on how to be better in these bad times. Then at least, this is how you become a performer during the grey climate like this.
I see it more from a community perspective. Yes, you have the tech companies doing well, you have the pharmaceutical companies doing well, and then now you have the civil servants who, by virtue of this announcement, will also be doing well. But like you said, there's still a very large sector of society that isn't doing well. They're not getting a pay raise also, unless let's say the social services agencies are going to announce something. So is if everything is just going to be a pay raise across board, we cannot miss out the gig economy, the many businesses, SMEs that have closed down, the many individuals who have lost their jobs during the COVID. They are not going to get any pay raise. They are now even looking for a job. So I would rather that it be a more community approach where we try to bring everyone up together. Get the businesses going. Use the funding to provide a lifeline. Get the SMEs up and running. There were so many FMVs closed down. If you go into all the malls, you see so many empty shops. So are we placing funding or investments in the right area? Yes, civil servants are civil servants. They do a vital role. But placing the money there, could it be used elsewhere to generate greater activity in the economy? We could have considered that as an option. I see from a community. Nothing against pay raise, but I think Singapore lacks that current fabric, that current community mindset where, you're doing well, okay, you look after yourself. Tech company or you. But the overarching view from the government, from leaders, I think it should be more community. There's so many people, and I don't want handouts. I don't want come GST, what voucher, this voucher. I want to earn. I want to run a business. I want to be self-sufficient. I think we should be looking at that now.
Maybe the government had all that in mind, but they have not explained it. They have not come openly about it.
Yes.
So we were left wondering, why now? When we are all, I wouldn't say struggling, but we are all coping to move forward slowly but steadily.
The government expressed and explained that, it is to meet market rates, But that has been the justification for umpteen years. We need to match, get the right talent in. But hey, is the right talent coming in for the money or coming in to perform that civic duty that they're trying to do? I mean, we run businesses and we say, if I hire a top marketing guy, a marketing guru, he will come in and he will say, hey, I need $10 million to run a marketing campaign. I think Jack Ma explained this whole theory. If I get the most expensive person in, doesn't mean he can do the job.
True.
I need to get the most passionate, the most determined, the most disciplined person to come in. So the question I have is, yes, we need to pay the top talent, but are we getting the right talent that the civil service need, or any organization that needs, to really remake Singapore, remake the economy for us to be more competitive? We cannot just keep paying out, because they will demand
More and more.
more and more, and it's never ending. We need to find that novel, innovative ideas from novel individuals to make it happen with what resources we have now.
But the problem again is if you have the right talent, that right talent may not have the right passion.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because let's say if so and so has the talent to develop a certain project, but if he has not that passion to do so, he's not the right fit for that position. Even if you keep paying him top dollar, he's not going to do what he's supposed to be doing. So, sometimes, like Jack Ma says, and I think he's right, unless you have someone with the right passion, you pay for that passion and things get done. But if you keep paying and paying for someone you think who is the right talent but has got no passion to do whatever you want that person to do, you're screwed.
But how do you measure passion? I mean, you can measure experiences through the resumes. You can measure so many things that say this is my technical achievements. But how do you say I'm very passionate? How do you define that? You can't tell.
You can see it in the individual, the body language, the ideas that he or she comes with, the ideas. He comes with ideas. He doesn't come with saying, I want this, this before I give you anything. He comes with ideas. And I think there is no bad idea. We just need to be open to new ideas, which we are not.
Let me give you from the business point, from the business perspective. You want $20,000 per month. If you can't bring in 100,000, why must I hire you at a loss? So they must come with that economic viability. It's like, I can bring in this money, just pay me this amount.
No, I will throw back the question is, I have $10,000. Are you willing to come and find a way to grow it and then take a part of that 100,000? Are you willing to grow with me? Are you willing to expand and influence or make an impact in society or in this particular endeavor? That is passion. You earn enough. We all need to earn. We all have families to look after. But I think from a civil service perspective, they need to have that passion element, that grounding. Yes, for different economies, let's say currently now, let's say MES, finances, you need that caliber of people who demands that expertise, that value. But beyond that, I think the passion comes in quite evidently and quite needed. It's a tricky question. Pay and passion. But the issue that Judith and I agree is you cannot just keep paying. It comes to a point where it's just too expensive. It doesn't make sense. We only have finite resources. We have finite time. I always have this bugbear. You pay good money, but when you go to the town councils, when you walk around the town, you see dirt here, you see dirt there, you see damaged pipes. If you're in charge of that area, that few blocks, aren't you supposed to walk there every day, check on it, timely respond? So I think that's where we need to change the way we work. Instead of, high pay means you're very good, doesn't mean you can pay someone who is manageable, but the person sets aside time, invests in walking the ground, seeing what's wrong and trying to make a difference at the ground level rather than just policy level.
So I'm very sure that the government believe that the 23,000 who get this pay raise have changed the landscape somehow.
How have they changed the landscape?
And who are they?
Yeah.
So
Over
that's
the
the
last
question.
2
right?
years.
So that's the question,
Yeah.
right? Who are all these 23,000? There's a lot of people who did very well. How come they are not surfaced? So we would like to know them. Allow us to see them.
And if I'm not wrong, from a HR perspective, it's not a automatic increment. Your increment every year is pegged to your performance. If you get a D grade, you're not going to get an increment for that particular year. I forgot what the HR term is. So what's going to happen? Everyone just gets an increment now. My greatest concern is that increment. Yes, you want to attract the right talent, but it is also to buffer the inflation. Petrol, food pricing, housing. I mean, okay, fine. You want to buffer for 23,000 people. How about the rest of Singaporeans?
Yeah,
Okay?
I need to ask, who's going to buffer for the gig economy people? Who's going to buffer that for the Grab food delivery boy? Who's going to buffer that for the Gojek driver?
Yeah.
Who?
So that's why I said we should use that money and look at it from a Singapore Inc. Let's make Singapore businesses more competitive, better. Let us go and compete. Let us get in tourists, which is we're opening up. But the money has to be spread out. And we grow together rather than, one pocket leads, this pocket goes ahead. I mean, we already seen society, the cracks in society during this COVID period. The haves and the haves not, And it's just getting wider and wider and wider. And I don't see any effort, or maybe it's not known, not communicated or articulated, but to address this gap. And this gap is just going to go wider and wider with pay increase. It's getting very, very scary. Yes, we all should move forward, but we should move forward together. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say as a community, as Singaporeans.
You sound very passionate.
I know, but I got no offers for tea or coffee. No, but it's because I work in the social service. We see that, we have Singaporeans who have no meals. They only eat once a meal every 2 days, kind of thing. They are trying to save, and yes, we have only 20% of Singaporeans paying income tax. That means it's 80% of Singaporeans not meeting the minimum criteria to
That's
have
a
to
lot.
pay income tax. So what's happening? Yes, I mean, they are diversified. There are grants, there's waivers and stuff. There's GST, there's other tax, but that shows how much the average Singaporean is earning, which is of concern. I mean, my concern is the gap in society that we saw very clearly during the COVID, which is quite scary. And we talk about fabric of a nation, it will break if we don't address it soon. So the timing, I mean, can't they wait till the economy is better, everyone is having a job? I'm not too sure we have the rates for unemployment, but I heard that there will be an influx of 12,000, 15,000 people into the workforce because there's no more safe distancing ambassador job, and they'll be flooding the market. I mean, you see FMVs literally struggling. They can't take your orders, long queues, because there's not enough people working. There's mass hiring.
And on top of that, they're not allowed to hire people who are not Singaporean.
Yeah.
And there's a quota as well. So that's why some of them are suffering really badly.
Yep.
I know of a friend who kept his restaurant running because for the past 2 years, so that his staff can bring something home for the family. Unfortunately, when economy opened again, other restaurants are attracting his staff over because they wanted people, they upped their pay, and this poor guy has no more money left in his war chest that he had to close down.
Oh, that's sad.
Yes, and it's like, what is loyalty? There's no longer any loyalty. So once again, people like him, these are the people who need the pay raise to help his restaurant going, but didn't get anything. War chest empty, had to shut down.
We hope that we will get answers. We hope that they would hear us. We hope that they will come out with a valid reason that will justify why we need to spend more from the taxpayers' money. We are already paying so much. And knowing that other people are getting pay raise because it's taxpayers' money, because they are civil servants, it's okay, but yeah, it does pinch a bit. Like, really? Why? Now?
Yeah. I mean, where's the money coming? Like your friend, there are a lot more Singaporeans who are struggling to make ends meet. I don't know. I mean, short of saying that we should become a welfare state, give out money, which we won't do, we need to find another means. First and foremost, I think whether we can tackle the inflation. I mean, if you can't give everyone a pay raise, we try to make life affordable. I think that's one alternative that we seriously have to look at. But that also includes us, our mindsets.
True.
So I think it takes two to clap. But I need to see your plan. I need to see this remaking Singapore happening. I think for the longest time, Singapore has been very, very competitive, pushing forward, doing the best, being the hub. Everybody must upskill, stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's just only so much you can upskill, in that short period of time. We have to find a way to cut down our costs, I mean, we all want a car. Can we find a way to use electricity, electrify the cars, and use renewable? I mean, there's so many mechanisms, but it always boils down to capitalistic thinking, profits, this and that. There's no, okay, I'll invest. I'll invest. We will suck it up as a nation, but cost should go down. Cost of transport, cost of food. We grow. I mean, where's that whole initiative to grow our own food, grow our own chicken? I mean, easier said than done, but at least let's have that discussion. Then it will make me selfish, but I think it will make the younger generation more excited about sustainability, about being self-sufficient, about being independent. I think the Singaporeans, the younger Singaporeans, are very entitled, because of their parents, our surroundings, or whatever. But I think the next generation really needs a wake up, and we need it sooner. We have seen how Ukraine, Russia, a bigger country can always bully you, and we also see how many small countries can gang up and bully you. We have India, even Indonesia, Malaysia. They can all just say, "I want to protect my own nation," and you are stuck. And this will happen more often. The playbook is there already. You want to tekan a country or a company, you just cut, no? Based on nationalistic issues. We need to change. The Singapore mindset has to change.
That's what we need. A change top down.
Yeah.